Hi, and welcome back to Jen Savage Fitness. Today we are going to dive in on a glute circuit. All right. So we have 4 items on the menu today. It's a RDL, Romanian Deadlift, a banded hydrant. So we're going to be up and down on the floor, right? We have a banded glute bridge and then a curtsy lunge. We're going to do 3 rounds of this. We're going to do 12 reps of each move. So grab a band and grab some weights that you can use for the RDL and the curtsy lunge, and let's get warmed up. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is work on that hinge. We want to work on firing up those glutes. So we are working on just kind of sliding our hands down the front, really warming up those hamstrings, those glutes as we dive into this move. This is going to be one where you are going to feel it. So make sure that you choose your weights accordingly. And we'll talk about it in between each set as we go through how to make sure that we are making the most of our reps, right? Now I want you to step kind of wide. We are just going to lunge side to side. As you come over to one side, I want you to think about that knee lining up with those second and third toes, keeping those hips square to the front. A lot of times we'll see a lot of rotation. I want you to think about really opening up those adductors as we're in this. And the best way to do that is to keep those hips driving square to the front. So we're just going to add a couple of these in. We have Larry and Bo joining the show today. If you want, you can always follow their modifications. Sometimes they're so much better, right? So what I want you to think about also, we want to start kind of just warming up that upper body. We have to make sure in some of these moves that our scapula are in those right positions, right? When I say shoulder blades down and back, we want to make sure that we are getting that mobility in those shoulder blades so that we've been reversing. Now we're going to go the opposite direction, rotate those shoulders forward, really thinking about moving those scaps through that full range of motion and getting those nice and spicy, right? So we're going to also now engage in some squat. And as we come up, we're going to give a little twist. All right. So we're not only warming up our legs, but we are also getting some thoracic rotation, that nice mid-back rotation in there. And it always just feels a little nice, you know, you realize, ooh, I'm a little stiff on that side. Or, whoa, this feels really good today. So it's always a new adventure that you're on. And so sometimes we just have to embrace that. All right, just like that, we are going to dive in. So make sure you have your band and your weights ready, and let's get started. All right, our first move on the menu is an RDL. So let's talk through the mechanics of this. I want you to think about, and I'm going to show you with this bar here, right? If you have a broomstick or something that is just straight, what you want to do is think about in this move, we are going to hinge. We are going to maintain 3 points of contact on that stick. Notice the back of the head, the shoulders, and that sacrum just above the glutes. And we want to think about mimicking this form as we start to pick up weights, okay? So now that you've got that visual, we want to set that down, pick up our weights. Now, I want you to have chosen weights that you can control safely and effectively. We want to think about rotating our shoulder blades down and back. We are going to brace that core, and we want to have our feet about hip width apart, okay? Now, in that, I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see the full motion. the first thing that we want to do is have those palms facing our legs, and we are simply going to slide those weights, those hands down the front of our legs, similar to what we did in the warm-up. Okay, we are going to engage in that hinge, keeping that back flat. When we get just below our knees, you should feel those hamstrings fire up. Then we're going to drive through at the top, give that little pelvic tuck that is going to squeeze those glutes at the top. And let's dive on in. We have 12. All right. So here we go. Keep those weights close. That is one of the most common faults that I see in this move. You want to make sure that those are staying close. There's 2, giving that nice little squeeze at the top. 3, and make sure that you are allowing those knees to bend a little bit as your glutes shoot back, okay? Here is 5. Coming up on halfway. Woohoo! How are you feeling? 6. I know I feel a little spicy here. That heat comes in quickly. 7, 8. And if you need to slow it down a little bit, go for it. 9, if you need to just grab one weight and hold it bell to bell, that's okay too. 10, just work at your pace. 11, and last one, and there is 12. All right, gauge how that felt, right? That's the most important thing we can always do, is reassess in our minds. How did that feel? Could I go up in weight? Should I drop down in weight? But always make sure that that form is on point. You know, my phrase is, if your form breaks, you take a break, right? Reassess, get that form back in alignment, and then dive back in again. All right, just like that, move number 1 is done. The next one, we are coming down to the floor, and we are going to need our band for this. All right, so what we're going to do, hi Larry, we are going to come down onto the floor. Now I want you to think about having that shoulder, elbow, wrist in alignment and those knees stacked underneath those hips. All right, from here you are really going to press through those front arms as you open the leg to one side. All right, we are going to elevate up, but as you do, I want that back to stay flat, as if there is a dinner plate on your back and you don't want it to move. All right, we've got 12 each side. So here we go. There's 1, 2. Now you might find that this isn't a very big range of motion, and that's okay. The goal is, there's 5, just like that. 6 is to really activate that side glute. 7, 8, and maintain that strong, tall position. There's 10. Notice that foot is dorsiflexed. 11 and 12. You can stay right where you are. I'm going to switch around just so you can see the movement. And you might notice, hey, Jen, on one side, I can't go as high. Or maybe I can go a little higher. Our bodies are designed in a way that a lot of times we have those differences. Here's 5, 6. If you are not shaking, you need to grab a heavier band next time. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Whoo! If you need to, come on up, pound that out a little bit because that one has a little burn to it. Now, we're going to stay on the floor. And we're simply going to go into a banded glute bridge. So we're going to lie on our backs, and we are going to, I'll turn this way now that Larry's out of the way. we're going to make sure that we have tension on that band, okay? So as we're in this position, I want you to think about, if you can see, your hands touching your heels, right? You want those heels kind of close. That's going to make sure that we're using those glutes, all right? So from here, we're going to drive up, pause at the top, continuing that pressure on the outside of that band, driving out. There's 2, and lowering with control. 3. As you get to the top, give that nice little pelvic tuck, that squeeze. That's going to create that nice flat motion. 5. And just think, how does this feel? 6. You should feel the entire glute firing up with this one. 7. 8. Bo's checking things out, making sure I'm doing it right. 9. 10. 11. And 12. All right. Those, you can go ahead as you're laying on your back, take that loop off. We have 1 move left. All right. So for this one, we have what's known as a curtsy lunge. This one is going to be alternating. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead. I'm just going to use the same weights that I used before. I might regret that. Make sure I have some room here. So what you want to think about with that curtsy lunge, you want to keep those, you want to have those feet about hip width apart, shoulder blades down and back, that core braced, okay? From there, we are going to step in a diagonal fashion behind us and then lower down. Now that front shin, we want to try and keep as vertical as possible. So there's 2, while keeping those, let me see if I can go forward. So keeping those hips square to the front. 3, 4. Now think about keeping that nice tall back. 5, 6, lowering as you lower. 7, all that pressure should be in that front leg. 8, 9, 10, oh, we're getting there. 11, and 12. And just like that, we're done with the first round. So go ahead, get a drink, reassess all the moves, and we're about to dive in on set number 2. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Set number 2, round 2. Let's pick up those weights for the RDL. So remember, we have those 12 reps. Now what we're gonna do, have those shoulder blades down and back. Make sure that you've got that core brace. Those feet should be about hip width apart. You should not have those toes up, right? If you notice that you can pick those toes up, I want you to hinge forward slightly. Did you see that difference? Toes up, toes down. That is where you want to be. You want to have that full foot engagement, okay? Think about the base of the big toe, base of the little toe, and that heel all in contact. So what we want to do now, hinge those glutes back, keep those weights close to our bodies for 1. Remember, we got 12, 2, giving that nice squeeze at the top. 3, 4. I wish I had the modification for Bo and Larry right about now. 5. But the good thing is 6, we are showing up. We are showing up for ourselves. 7, and for those later years in life. 8, because we want to be able to engage in all the adventures, right? 9, we want to be able to say yes. 10, and this is the way to do it. 11, and 12. All right, that was round 2. How did that feel? Hopefully that felt pretty good for you. Hope you're feeling strong and stable. We are back to this guy. All right, so let's put that band around our legs again. I think I start on this side first. So We will get back in that position, shoulder, elbow, wrist in alignment, hip and knee, those toes in extension on the floor. And we're going to elevate that leg out to the side for 12. So this one, sometimes you feel a little wobble, that you are moving side to side, just like that. That's 5. But I want you to really think about then pressing through those hands. 7, 8, like this hand predominantly. 9 is doing a lot of the balance work. 10, 11, and 12. So you're going to notice that contralateral hand, the opposite hand as the knee that's planted on the ground. These are your 2 balancers, right? This arm is here for an additional stabilizer, but you're going to find yourself pressing into this. I want you to think about pushing that floor away from you so that you don't sink into those shoulder blades, but rather you're pushing up out of that floor, okay? Here we go. We got 12 on the other side. And 1, 2. If you notice your form starting to compromise, then just reassess. Just take that break and then dive back on in. Just like that. We're halfway through. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Oh, my favorite part of the day, rolling over and laying down. I'm sure it's yours too. All right, from here, remember, we want to have those heels so that we can kind of slightly graze our heels with our fingertips. And then keep tension on that band. We're driving out against it and then pressing up. 1, and really giving that nice squeeze, that nice pause at the top. 2, just slow and controlled. 3, that slow burn. 4, and then coming down with just as much control as we're coming up. There was 6, 7, 8. There we go. I know you're feeling this. I'm feeling it. 9. And it is very warm. 10. And I don't think that's a hot flash coming on. 11 and 12. All right. Just like that, we can take that band off and then reassess the weight for those curtsy lunges. Okay. How did that go last time? Did you feel like you had good control over your movements? Excuse me. Did you feel like you maybe need to go a little bit lighter with the weights, or that you're able to challenge yourself? These are all things that you want to start creating that running checklist in your mind as you go. Okay. So from here, remember, think about bracing that core. You have those weights on either side of you, and we are going to put a lot of the weight into that leg that's going to be on the front leg, okay? We are bringing that other leg diagonal and back for 1, and then alternating side to side. 2, 3, keeping that shin in the front as vertical as possible. 4, 5, 6, you're going to feel this in those side glutes. You're going to feel this. 7, really getting spicy, especially towards the end of that second round. 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So we are 2 rounds in. Set those down, take a little break, get a drink. I'll see you back for our last and final round. And just like that, we are in our final round. So I want you to think about grabbing those weights. We're going to dive on in and make sure that we've got our form correct as we get going. So grab those weights. You've got those feet about hip width apart. You've got those shoulder blades down and back, core braced. We are ready to rock and roll. Okay, we're gonna lower down. Here we go. There's one. Squeezing at the top. 2, 3. There's 4. My glutes are feeling real spicy. 5. Those hamstrings too, you know, they are firing. 6. I am feeling this all over. 7, because that form, you know, it takes a lot of control. 8. So that's something that is so essential. We focus on. 9, keeping that head neutral, keeping that back flat. 10, 11, giving that nice little pelvic tuck and squeeze at the top. And 12. We're done with that move for the day. That is honestly, though, one of my all-time favorite moves. It is so essential, you know, even as we go to pick something up off the floor, that hinge is the motion that most people really have challenges with. And so the more you can practice that, the better you're going to get at it. All right, so let's put this band on. We are going to have that just above our knees. We are going to get in that quadruped position, shoulder, elbow, wrist. We are going to have that attention on that band, and then that hip and knee in alignment as we elevate up for 1. And it's always nice to work different parts of the glute, right? 3, 4. This is really working that side glute, that glute med. There's 6, 7. Notice we're going through with control. 8. I'm starting to shake. Are you? 9, 10, 11, and 12. Whoo! Palm that out a little bit. Oh man, that is a doozy. And if you pick a band and you're like, oh, that one's a little much, feel free to grab a lesser band or do this without the band. But I do love the extra tension it gives because it also helps with that form, right? 3, 4, keeping that back flat. 5, core braced. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, favorite part of the day. That feels so much better. Unfortunately, there's work associated with it. So once again, let's get set up. We have those heels and those fingertips slightly able to brush those heels. And then we have those, we have some tension on that band. We have those knees in alignment as we drive up for 1, really squeezing at the top. Trying to give that little pelvic tuck at the top for that squeeze. 3, as you get up to the top, you want to think about creating that straight line, shoulder to knee. There's 5, 6, as you get up to the top 2, really brace that core. 7, there's so much to this, right? 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. Oh my goodness, we just want to lay here for a minute, but bring those knees in. Give a little rock back and forth as we take that band off and get ready for our final move, that last round of the curtsy lunge. So let's grab our weights and we will dive on in. Once again, make sure with this one, you've got those shoulder blades down and back. You've got that nice little pelvic tuck. You've got that core braced. Those feet are about hip width apart. Pressure is in that standing leg, okay? as we cross for 1. Woo, a little crack there. 2. You're gonna hear probably a lot of cracks out of me. 3. That happens. But if you ever happen to have one and there is pain associated with it, I want you to just stop immediately, okay? With mine, a lot of it's just noise. Here is 9, 10, 11, just likes to remind me that it's there, and 12. You know, sometimes our bodies just do some things that we're like, whatever. We just keep going. So assess, how did that feel? Let's take, we'll do a little wider squat, come up, and then take a deep breath. Exhale, come up again, exhale down. Let's kind of start or end the way we started. Kind of roll those hands down our shins and the fronts of our legs. Just giving our body a chance to cool down, slowing that breath, taking a big deep breath in through your nose and exhale through that mouth. All right, let's give ourselves those hugs. I hope you celebrate yourself along every step of these workouts. You know, a lot of times we think we have to celebrate when we're done. I want you to celebrate every round that you finish, every move that you finish, every rep that you finish. Be like, yeah, you got this. Yeah, high fives, you know, because the real gains are always in those smallest little pockets, those times when we really celebrate ourselves for showing up. So I want to make sure that you do the same things. You are celebrating every step of the way because you deserve it. Keep showing up. If you loved this workout today, I would be so honored if you would hit that like and subscribe button and just become part of the community. If you knew someone who might benefit from this, feel free to share it with them, right? The more people we have building one another up, getting stronger together, and then when we link arms, we are just going to be the most beautiful sign of solidarity. So let's keep showing up, focus on progress, believe we have what it takes, and let's bring others along with us, okay? We got this.